Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Erin. And this is the Utterly Unrelated podcast.
Yay!
We're here. We're back for episode 3. And today we're going to dive right into the poisoning of Titanic. No, not the poisoning of the Titanic, although that might have happened.
That would explain a lot.
It would, a little tummy trouble and you're on the toilet and iceberg and then, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I got my own iceberg to worry about, friend.
Right? But this one is actually referring to the 1997 blockbuster movie and an incident that occurred on set where everyone was, they ate a big vat of spiked. There's some debate. Probably clam chowder. Clam chowder spiked with PCP.
Which is everyone's preferred way to take PCP.
Absolutely, via a thick, possibly lukewarm chowder.
Yes, a thick seafood broth.
Now, I will say that this gets less exciting when you find out it was not Kate Winslet and Leo who actually got spiked, which was a bummer. But Bill Paxton and James Cameron both did get spiked and tripped.
I mean, I always got a weird vibe off of that dude's performance, and that explains a lot. You
know what? And it's funny because it happened while they were filming all of the modern day stuff. So they were filming it all.
It had a weird vibe.
It did.
It just did, man. It slapped different.
He has a weird vibe. I love his vibe. He was fucking amazing.
He's like the dude who a person, like a female or male, who a person meets in college and is like a little older and like has all the shrooms in the pot and they're not that good looking, but they have a lot of weird ass ideas on shit. So it's like, yeah, I'll hang around for your drugs for a little bit.
Totally. And they've been in college for like an extra 2 years.
Oh yeah, they've been there for 12 years and they still don't have that liberal arts degree.
Now here's a little fun bit of trivia. Meg and I did not grow up in the same city or state together, but we went to college at the same place together.
Was it roughly the same time?
Almost the same time.
Yeah,
Almost,
I was there 2000, 2003.
I started in 99 and went to Clackamas Community College. Whoop, whoop. I started in 99 and I think to 2001. So
that's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. It's a small world. They say Portland's a small city, but technically it's Oregon City, which we will be talking about because it deserves its own giant episode.
Yeah, we're going to address that next week.
And then we're going to dive into spooky Halloween loveliness for the entire month of October.
That's the best part of October is all the spooky shit.
Absolutely.
And I think it should go on the record that neither one of us are necessarily like Halloween is my personality type people.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Christmas person for sure.
I'm a Thanksgiving person all the way. I hate the genocide, but I love the food.
Ooh,
yes.
I didn't know that about you.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, if they took away the genocide, it would make the food taste better.
It would.
If there was just a random holiday in like the middle of August or something that was like, eat until you're sick, that would be my favorite holiday. Like a genocide-free buffet.
I would love that so much. That would be so good. I know both of my kids don't eat fucking meat. And my husband's Canadian. So when I make
it's just lost on all of them.
It's awful. When I'm like, yes, I made a turkey and I made all the things. They're like, oh, we're not eating any of that. I'm like, fuck. So then I always get stuck with all of the shit. And I eat one big meal and then I'm like, I think I have diabetes. I have to be done with this because I eat all the food.
I thought you were going to say diarrhea and I was like, there's no I think about that.
Most likely
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Actually, weird thing is nobody in my family likes turkey.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's just gamey and weird, and it's too big of a bird, and I don't trust turkeys in general. But we do have a gigantic chicken generally.
Oh!
Or actually last year, going back to my last shout-out, unpaid shout-out, mind you, to Pine Shed Ribs, we actually had gotten our turkey from Pine Shed.
Oh, did you get like a deep-fried one?
No, he smokes it. Smokes it for a very long time.
Oh my god, it's Pine
Shed Ribs in Lake Oswego. It's the best.
Okay, they might be making my Thanksgiving this year because I'm not.
You should.
Another fucking turkey
no.
You should.
To eat. That was the other thing was, okay, turkeys themselves rather inexpensive, but you have to cook them for like 20 million hours,
yes.
and if I'm making it, it's probably going to turn out shitty. I'm a great cook, but not with food I don't like, and I don't like turkey.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if I cook it, it's gonna turn out shitty and dry and undercooked all at the same time. Yeah, I'm talented like that.
No, that's my favorite way to eat turkey.
Undercooked and dry? At the same time?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, well, in that case,
like
you're
the
invited.
I love the dry. If I'm choking the
Dry
turkey down,
does soak up more sauce, so I understand. I grew up eating dry meat, so I get it.
bombshell,
Sorry, Mom.
I fucking hate gravy. How?
Whoa.
I know, right? Okay, so I got back. A little aside, I did my 23andMe. And I did it so that I could upload my DNA to GEDmatch, which everyone should do to help solve crimes. And
Yes, I need to get on that, actually.
identify missing persons that have been found murdered. So if you upload it to this database, then it goes in, and maybe your uncle's cousin's brother killed someone, and we can help find them.
Or
that
maybe
way.
your dad's a rapist. Who knows?
Maybe you have a half sibling family you never knew existed. There
Yeah.
are so many great reasons to go out there and do this, but I did
Yeah,
it.
is it GEDmatch.com?
Yes, that's exactly it.
So GEDmatch.com.
Perfect. And so I did mine, and it came back, and I was under the impression that I was mostly Pacific Islander because my family's from Guam. No, funny story. I'm 71% white. I'm 71% white from Britain, Ireland, France, and Germany.
Dude.
The whitest of the whites.
Okay, I found out also that I'm 100% white as fuck.
Oh my God.
I have
really?
zero not white. So Aaron and I both look very similar. We both have big brown eyes. We are also not related, utterly unrelated.
Fair skinned.
Yeah,
Fair skinned.
but olivey fair,
A little bit of
brown
freckles,
hair,
yeah.
freckles. We're white people, very obviously, but we're like, you know,
We could be sisters or
darker
cousins.
white people.
Yeah, a little
like as far as
olivey.
dark features. And I was always also told that I was Greek and Portuguese and Spanish and Native American. All of those things check out. I've seen Greek people, and I'm like, yeah, that looks like me. I've seen Portuguese people. I'm like, yeah, those big old eyes, definitely. And no, not a fucking stitch.
Oh, no.
I am 75%, or no, 80% if you split it up between Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales, and 20% German and 4% French.
Wow.
The fucking French. Yeah. Somehow.
I'm 71. So I'm 24%. They put Filipino or something Asian. I'm Guamanian, and Guamanians are mildly Polynesian or Filipino or Chamorro or whatever. So that part checks out. The funny part is there's a little teeny tiny bit of me that is Ashkenazi Jew.
No shit.
Now, my husband is Jewish, but because I'm not Jewish, my children aren't considered Jewish, right? So I get my results back, and I was like, oh my God, Dave, I'm so fucking excited. He's like, why? You just found out you're more white person. I was like, yeah, but I'm this much Ashkenazi Jew, which means my kids are now officially Jewish, and I'm a white person, so I can go kick in the door at the synagogue, demand that they bar mitzvah my boys.
Yes.
And if they refuse, I can say, I want to talk to your manager.
Hell
I've
yeah.
got white people
You
in
know
me.
what? I have a really good hairdresser who can give you an A-frame too, right before frost your hair and shit.
I'm going to need those
Yes.
K+8 spikes.
Oh, you bet.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, my homie Will hook it up.
I'm going to be in there like Carmela Soprano with my nails just clicking and clacking on my iPhone while I record.
Oh, man.
DJ
I'll let you borrow all my
Torah.
necklaces too.
Yes. Oh my God, my dreams are coming true. But yeah, so finding out that I'm mostly white was startling, surprising, but also explains my complete dislike of juicy meats and gravies. I'm gonna need it to be bland. I fucking hate gravy.
That's so funny because that's the food I was raised with. My grandmother lived with us while I was growing up, and her family, her dad came right here from Scotland, and
I'm so jealous.
her mom was born in Michigan, but her family had come right from England. And so between the two of them, my grandmother, all the meat was well done. It was not, I love my grandmother. She made really good soups, but the meat was not very flavorful. It was very dry. We would put A1 on like everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So once I actually started learning how to cook, I was like, oh, you're not just supposed to cook this to death?
And my family was the opposite. Like, especially my Guamanian family, they're all about put the fucking pig in the ground and wrap it in banana leaf and like all of the really good adobo pork and Kahlua pork and all the good Islander food.
Oh man, I miss that food.
And every little bit of white lady Karen in me as a child was like, I don't like this. It tastes funny. And my grandma's like, yeah, that's flavor. I'm like, no, it's not for me, thank you. I need some more white rice.
Yes.
With butter on it.
Okay, so I was very distrustful of flavorful meats. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like,
it does.
Yeah. Like, even KFC, I was like, there's a little too much flavor in this. I don't know about this right here. I'm going to need this meat to be microwaved another 45 seconds.
Totally.
I need there to be zero moisture in it because I distrust a moist bird.
Because moist...
Not anymore, but I very much used to distrust moist meat.
When you don't know, moist could be blood.
Yep.
It could be pee. It could be uncooked fat. When you don't know about cooking, there's so many things that wet could be.
You know what's funny is never once did I assume it was pee.
I always assumed it was pee.
Were you just like, these people peeing all over their meat?
When I was young, so my parents got divorced when I was like 8, and I lived with my dad and my brother lived with my mom, and all of a sudden, I had this unbridled window into my father as a person that I'd never had before because my mom was a really good buffer. And so here I thought, like, oh, my dad goes to work, he comes home, we have dinner, we go to sleep, normal family stuff. Fuck no. My dad is an agent of chaos. We used to go to his one office when we were, I won't get too specific. Anyway, there was a boss that he hated. And so what he would do is we would go to the office after hours. We would go to dinner, then we would stop by the office and he would pee in the coffee cup and he would swoosh it around and then dump it out so that the first little blast of like hot coffee that came in would be just, there was a piss coating inside of the, so I thought everybody peed in everything. So the case of the poisoned clam chowder is still unsolved to this day.
I love that it's just titled The Case of the Poisoned Clam Chowder.
I know, right? And
That's a Nancy Drew for you.
Fucking A. Hardy Boys. So even now, no one knows who dumped a buttload of PCP into the craft service
I think
soup.
it was Bill Paxton himself.
You know, James Cameron, shifty motherfucker that he has gone on record as saying he thinks it's his wife. Because they were just dating at the time, but she didn't have any of the clam chowder, and he did. And so I'm sure he's being cute, and it's like, oh, honey, you tried to poison us. But she's just like, are you fucking stupid? That's not even funny. I didn't do that. Like, I don't have that kind
These are crimes, friend.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're trying to make me a funny anecdote?
Maybe it was Kubrick.
Ooh. Oh, it could have been.
That's some shit he would do. Kubrick is low-key. He's an abusive-ass little man.
Oh, man. Intense. Watching him make Shelley Duvall cry made my soul shrivel up and, like, just...
He did permanent damage on her.
Yeah. You know in The Little Mermaid, the little shriveled up souls that Ursula keeps in her garden? That's what that made me feel like, because it, like, made me relive
it ruined my fucking childhood.
Yeah, totally. And I love Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
She was a fucking
fairy tale
PBS
theater?
badass. Yes.
Oh, my God. I've seen every episode.
Me too. I adore her. Oh, my God. She's, like, an integral part of my childhood.
Oh, absolutely. Her nowadays interviews, like, oh, my gosh.
Poor woman.
Seriously.
So we're cut into the night of August 8th, 1996. We're in Nova Scotia, Canada. So James Cameron, Bill Paxton, and everyone else involved in filming the modern day scenes broke for lunch on the night shoot around midnight, and everyone filed into what I picture as an eating tent. I read several interviews with Vice and Variety and all these different things researching this, and they weren't specific enough for my liking about where they ate this. I feel like setting is important because I've been on a lot of movie sets where you're just sitting in a tent and you're like sitting in your jacket and just being cold. And that just doesn't seem like much fun. So I picture like a nice wedding tent full of jubilation in the middle of the night. This was the last day of filming there. They were getting ready to go down to Mexico.
Okay, I didn't know
And,
it was the
like,
last day.
Yeah, they were getting ready to go down to Mexico and fill all the stuff with Kate and Leo in, like, the big tanks where they almost died. So the food had been prepared by a local catering company, which is probably why they were able, whoever did this was able to fuck with it, because normally, like, if you use craft service or something, there are things in place to make sure this kind of stuff doesn't happen. But we're in Canada in the mid-90s. It's like the Wild West of food poisoning.
Good to know.
That is conjecture. I have no idea if that's true.
You could phone a friend, ask Dave about it.
I know. He has such a skewed view of Canada in the mid-90s. He's like, I went and saw Nirvana. And I'm like, you're my old man husband. I know. I was like...
He's the best, though.
And then I countered with, well, I lived in Seattle when Kurt Cobain died. And he was like, you still don't win this argument.
Yeah, because you were, what, like 7?
I was, let's see.
Or no, you were like 9.
Well, no. 94? So I was 13.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was 94, April 5th, 1994. I feel like that wasn't worth me looking up, but...
No, it absolutely was. It absolutely was.
So everyone there who ate the chowder, which I'm leery of because that falls into my box.
I am
no-nos.
always leery of chowder. I do not eat seafood.
I don't either.
If it doesn't walk on land and have fur or feathers, it's not going in my mouth or my tum-tum.
100%.
And
right?
I'm very leery of clam chowder, of any creamy soups, really.
Yeah.
But mostly just seafood.
Yeah.
Like when you were like, oh, poisoning seafood, I was like, yeah, he got diarrhea poisoned.
Right,
that makes
checks
sense.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always fucking seafood. Why do people roll the dice? I don't understand it.
I never do.
It's
ever.
Like,
Fuck all that.
Ooh, it's like somebody went, I can't catch fish, but I can snatch this weird cockroach-looking thing scurrying along the bottom of the ocean, and that's how lobster rolls became a thing.
Here's some bugs, friend.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the lobster, I don't know if you know that, was initially they were fed to prisoners in, like, Maine, like the East Coast area. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
They were, because lobsters were super abundant, right? They were trying to get, I don't know, whatever people ate at that time. I'm assuming fish or maybe mollusks. I'm not sure. But anything not lobsters. And they were like, we're going to feed this weird-ass Cthulhu-looking thing to all these prisoners. And the prisoners were like, it's not bad with some butter and some lemon.
Wow.
And, yeah. And
That's
then,
crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. I know. Okay.
That would be actual hell for me.
It's so disgusting, right? Oh, I can't deal with it.
Right. I will not eat a hard-shelled Zoidberg. No, thank you.
Fuck no. I know, right? No, don't eat. I just hear his fucking... Yes. So 30 minutes into the hour-long lunch break, people start feeling a little odd. Now, they said the chowder was so good that many people went back for multiple 2-3 helpings of the chowder. It was so delicious, so nothing tasted off about it. And after about 30 minutes, the 60 people on the crew and cast who had eaten it started to feel a little funny. Now, I've never done PCP, so I had to actually...
Oh, I did once.
Oh, I had...
Wasn't on purpose.
No, you know what? Normally it isn't. I'm reading.
Not many people do PCP on purpose, actually.
So like a sad mom, I had to Google what does PCP feel like.
It's weird. It's disjointed.
That's what this said. That was literally the word that it said.
Yeah, that's the best word for it.
So according
It's
to...
like a slower salvia.
Oh, I've never done that either.
Don't.
I've heard that also.
Unpleasant. Did that once.
I watched that show Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia on Disney Plus. Oh, it's
What?
or not. I always say Disney Plus when I mean fucking Discovery Plus.
That sounds like a strange Disney.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The animation might be pretty rad. They just show you Fantasia. And they're like, it's drugs.
It's drugs and Fantasia. I know. I always do that. On Discovery Plus, they have this show called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, where he goes and he's a scientist and he'll do the drugs as like scientific research, and he goes and does natural salvia. It's really cool. You should check it out.
Natural salvia is fine. Natural salvia didn't do fuck all to me the first couple of times. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, this is just doing nothing.
Yeah,
and then somebody was yes,
and
yes, that's exactly. And then somebody was like, oh, I have this 40 concentrate, but don't smoke a lot of it. And I was like, whatever, I'll do what I want. I'm in my early 20s. Nobody can tell me shit. And I took a big old bong rip of it, and like, shit wasn't good, man.
Did you fish out? Do you remember that term, fish out?
I didn't know that was a term. I didn't hang out with the salvia crew necessarily.
See, and it's not necessarily one.
I mean, if by fish out you mean flail around, yes, I did.
Yeah.
So what happened to me was I felt like I was a Rolodex that was cut into like thirds and spinning in all different directions, and I was trying to get myself on the same page. That was the thought that kept happening in my head. So it was almost like the floor dropped out, and I could hear my friends up, like, above me. And I knew that I shouldn't flail around, but I didn't know why. I didn't feel real. That's for fucking sure. And I was like listening to my friends, trying to follow their voices up because I knew that they were real and I wanted to get back to being real. And so once I came out of it, the weird thing is like, so I took a deep breath of the smokes, and as I was coming out of it, I remember noting how sweet, like, it was a sweet taste. And
that's what they talked about.
It was the weirdest shit. I must have smoked 2 packs of cigarettes trying to get back to being real, quote unquote. Yeah, would not recommend. 0 out of 10. Would never fucking do again.
No. Oh,
if you see me eating lobster, it's probably because I'm on salvia. That's the only excuse.
I will file that away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do not fucking do it.
No, it didn't look great. It didn't look great. Fishing out is what we used to call it when you would suck nitrous right off of the tank until your lips turned blue, and then you would like fall over and go and like lose consciousness. Because my high school boyfriend had a dad who was a dentist.
Oh shit!
I know, right? And so he would break into the dental clinic. I shouldn't say this. Well.
It's not like you're saying. His name's Adam Stevenson.
Adam Stevenson, my ex-boyfriend. No. Yeah. He would break in and he would steal the nitrous tanks and probably other things. I don't know. He was kind of skeezy. And he would bring a whole tank over, and we're like, how are we supposed to do this? And we're like, do you have balloons? He's like, no, man, just put your mouth right there.
That's a terrible idea.
It was such a bad idea. And I remember watching his lips get stuck, and it was just...
That's bad.
It was fucked up.
Holy shit.
He was gnarly, but...
Yeah, his brains were decayed from doing too much nitrous.
Yes, I concur. Based on what I've seen of him in the last 10 or 15 years, which is exclusively online and mostly in, like, news articles, things are not going well for him and his brain. So,
yeah, don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't
That's no joke.
do drugs. But, yeah, so we used to call it fishing out when you'd fall over and lose consciousness and have a little nitrous seizure. And we were like, oh, look at him fish out.
Oh, my God.
I lose sleep at night thinking about my kids doing that. And I just like, please let it not be a thing anymore.
Oh, my God. No, it won't be. Jesus Christ.
Maybe they'll just drink Mountain Dew and play, like, video games all night long, like Warcraft or something. I don't know.
Oh, my God. Like, I know my kid is probably going to do drugs, but... I mean, I hope he doesn't do stupid shit like that. Just stick to pot and acid and, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
Heroin, just not that.
Yeah, anything but that, right? Really.
Anything but nitrous.
Anything but nitrous and meth, because that was
just don't, as long as he's not just, like... 27 in my basement huffing dust off. I feel even if he's smoking pot in my basement at 27, I'm like, yeah, well, at least he's doing something. But as long as he's not just like trying to get high in weird ways, like jankum and like making his own wine out of orange juice.
Oh,
it's like, you're 27. Wine is $2.
Yeah, right?
Here's I bought you a magnum of wine. Quit hoarding my orange juice. You are not in prison. You have never been in prison.
Yeah, but
fuck are you doing?
You saw that one episode of like the world's worst prisons and make toilet wine out of my orange juice.
You do not need to send me flags, son. I live upstairs. All right. Yeah, you do not need to do not fuck with my plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
It costs money.
Things.
Yeah.
You can just walk upstairs. I know DJ told me the other day, he was like, I'm just going to live at home till I'm in my 30s and you can raise my kids. I was like, whoa, you are 7. That is a bold statement.
Also, he's ambitious. How does he think he's going to have so many kids by living in his mom's basement?
Now, this is what flipped me, because I thought the same thing. And he was like, Mom, I'm going to go adopt all the kids from the... I know. He's like, I'm going to adopt the kids who don't have anyone to love them. And I was like, I'll raise all of them.
That's
fine, I'll do it.
Oh, that's so sweet. He's such a good boy.
Well, you know, he's got to have some flip side because he does have a lot of chutzpah.
I love him.
He is amazing. So according to medicalnews.com, PCP, or angel dust, causes hallucinations and produces a feeling of detachment from oneself and their surroundings. So that makes perfect sense. I tend to experience detachment very organically when I have crippling panic attacks. So I feel like I'm sort of my own PCP dealer.
It's kind of like the disassociation, like where you're... When I accidentally smoked PCP, it was the third time I ever smoked pot. Well, I didn't even know what pot was like. So I was just like, wow, I'm really high on pot. And it's good because if I granted, I wouldn't now have... I don't buy pot from people in alleys anymore. I buy it at the dispensary like a regular person. But yeah, like I no longer have this, but it's good that it only happened maybe the third time that I smoked pot because I wasn't freaking out as bad. But I remember walking home thinking I was still at my friend's house thinking about walking home. And once I got home, it was even more layers where I got home and I thought that I was walking home thinking about being at my friend's house. Like, it was a whole fucking thing. So,
damn.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you live with your mom at the time?
Oh, yeah, I was like 13.
Oh, fuck's sake. I would kill myself, I think.
No, so...
Like, I would be like, that's too much for my brain to handle. I'm going to go drink.
Well, I mean, my brains were already kind of crazy at the time, so I was like, okay, well, this is a fucking thing. And I called my friend, or he called me, and... I was eating a mixing bowl of cereal with like a serving spoon. Now that wasn't a drug choice. That I would have made that choice sober. I need that on the record. I was lazy and those were the dishes that were available to me. I could have easily cleaned the appropriate ones, but no, I was 13. Why would I do that? That's an asinine idea. And so, yeah, I was eating a mixing bowl full of cereal. And I spilt some on my shirt, and I remember, like, I was talking to my friend Tyler, and I was, like, laughing really hard about it, and then I just started bawling. Primal. Like, crying about shit that happened that didn't even happen. Like, just, all my beasts got released. And Tyler was like, oh shit, that shit was laced. And that's the wrong thing to say to somebody who's freaking out.
Freaking out and high as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I was real high. And so...
I want to hug little Megan. I give her hugs.
I know, she was a little shit. And so, yeah, I just don't buy... First of all, don't buy pot from any 13-year-olds.
Yeah,
because they probably got it from sketchy sources.
Yeah, their deadbeat uncle who lives somewhere sketchy. Yeah.
Knowing us, it was likely one of like 3 homeless dudes. Nothing against houseless people, but these dudes were like houseless by choice, like living in vans because their mom doesn't get a man, like that type. Yeah, like very Joe Rogan-esque. Minus the elk meat. If instead of elk meat, it was scabies, dead on. Dead on.
We ran in very different circles because I just went to my friend's parents and was like, I know.
I wish.
Right?
I wish.
Hey, can we do that? Yeah. I was not in charge usually of getting this stuff.
Oh, no, I never was. It was just there.
I never thought I would hear the words, I go to the dispensary like an actual real person. I mean, in our lifetime, I never thought that would happen. I'm so fucking grateful.
Oh, fuck yeah. You know what? And actually, that makes me a little bit more optimistic about the inevitability of Alex smoking pot.
Oh, yeah. My kids
because what? If they don't, they're probably gonna be weird. So yeah, I'm more stoked that probably they'll have to get it like how I got cigarettes when I was like 10 or 11 or 12. Like
standing outside with...
Oh, no, I had older friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, older, sketchy-ass predatory friends. And so hopefully it'll just be something like that, where he has to just go to his, like, older, sketchy-ass predatory friends and be like, hey, will you buy me an eighth of Gorilla Glue from the dispensary?
And then you give him, like, $100.
Yeah, he'll give him $100 for, like, a $20. Yeah.
He's got to have the real child experience.
Oh, yeah. I paid $5 for cigarettes when they were, like, $2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but, I mean, I was 12. I shouldn't have been smoking.
I know. Wow.
Now I started when I was like 10.
Oh,
and
man.
looking at 12 and 10-year-olds now, I'm like, what kind of adults were doing this? What in the fuck?
I know.
I mean,
13.
granted, like, I know that I didn't look my age, and I sure didn't act my age, but, like, come the fuck on.
That's a baby. You were a baby.
Yeah.
So baby.
Like, what in the shit, man?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would have hugged young Meg and then beat her senseless for smoking and locked her away in my house like a crazy person and
like
told
Black
her,
Snake
like,
Moan,
yeah,
but for cigarettes.
Totally. Black Snake Moan, you don't need it. No.
You're 10. Cigarettes and vodka are not for you.
Exactly.
I made a really good living for like a couple of decades after that on just my personality is cigarettes and alcohol. I did a great job.
Mine was cigarettes. My cigarettes, goth clothes and music, and anger, just pure rage. I existed on rage, I think, for like my drug of choice. Yeah.
I was very angry, but it was all like pointed inward.
Mine was pointed sternly outward.
Oh, I wish. I always wanted to have an explosive anger moment, and I, to this day, other than that one time I slammed a shower curtain, I can't really think of any other time that I've actually expressed my anger outwards.
Oh, big downside to that is the shame, the wave of shame after you've exploded, and the lack of friends that want to hang out with you when you are an explosive, angry person. So
yeah, there's that.
That's but
man, I want to. Sometimes I just want to watch the world burn. I want to be an angry person sometimes. I've never been able to rage quit anything.
Oh man, maybe when you're like 65, you can take up like raging out on people because they won't put you in jail, more than likely. I think any age before that, they'd be like, oh, fuck this, lock her up. But like at 65, you could just be like, I'll kill you. And I know 65 is not that old. It really isn't. It's not that old. But I feel like it's a good age where people stop trying to put you in jail. For little things.
So for me, I don't think that I would be taken seriously if I was angry, because I don't take angry people seriously, like ever. Yeah. My husband gets very angry all the time, and it is all I can do to not just laugh hysterically, because that will make it worse.
That's the thing.
I've learned that makes it a lot worse.
Oh, yes, I've learned that. If you laugh really hard at someone, especially if you're a woman and a man is angry with you and you laugh right in their face, they don't know what to do.
Oh,
and then they know exactly what to do, and you have to duck and weave.
Oh, he'd never lay hands on me. He'd just get this little, this angry 5-year-old face and storm out, and I'd be like, hope he doesn't come back.
Oh, but I would always pull that shit with people that had no problem hitting a woman, which was my fatal flaw.
Yeah, nobody ever really wants to hit me.
That's a wonderful thing. I have quite a punchable face.
I guess I don't. I guess I don't. People get real mad at me, though.
Aww.
Oh, yeah. No, I deserve it most of the time. Some of the time. Most of the time.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's accountability on my end. But, yeah, just nobody can stay mad at me for more than, like, I don't know, I think 3-4 hours.
Oh, that's wonderful.
One person was mad at me, I think, for, like, 2 days one time. So that was cool. That was a record. Shout out to Heather for that. She was real mad. I still don't know why.
Oh, shit. I hated that.
Oh, no, I was a problem drinker. I said some shit, I guess, but she won't tell me what.
Probably for the best.
I want to know.
You tell me. Tell me.
It's the only time I fully blacked out. I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So Bill Paxton told Entertainment Weekly that one minute he felt okay and the next he was having panic attacks. which sounds like a shitty high to me.
Yeah.
James Cameron forced himself to throw up. Fucking of course he did, right? Like, wasted PCP on him.
I don't believe that he did.
Yeah, because he was afraid that he had ingested paralytic shellfish toxins, which makes a little sense. I'm thinking Homer Simpson in the fugu pufferfish, right? Yeah. So I get that, but everyone was rushed to Dartmouth General Hospital where they were given charcoal to help them calm down because they thought they were being fugu fish poisoned.
Like diarrhea poisoned.
Diarrhea poisoned, but it took some time for it to kick in, and there were 60 of them. And so while they were in the hospital, hijinks ensued. Because they're trying to put them all in rooms, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And someone, that's all James Cameron would say, someone on the crew stabbed him in the face with a pen. I would have liked to know more about that. But he left it at that, which was disappointing.
What part of the face?
Right?
What kind of a pen?
I need to know the pen. Is it?
I'm assuming it's a Bic.
Probably.
Like a blue Bic pen.
That seems like the hospital pen, right? And those things are dull as fuck. And I'm thinking cheek meat.
I'm thinking cheek meat. I mean, did it go like through and through, or was it just a little poke?
That motherfucker didn't say. So it was probably just a little poke, and he made it dramatic.
Yeah, of course he did. He's James Cameron.
God, right?
Have you seen his movies? Jesus.
I try not to anymore. Someone started a very boisterous conga line, which may or may not have been the director of photography. But things get a little iffy because everyone was on drugs. So after a 2.5-year-long investigation by the Halifax Police Department, which I've been to fucking Halifax. I've been to Halifax.
I have a friend who lives there.
It doesn't surprise me when it says it takes them 2.5 years of investigation before they finally were able to get a warrant for a list of everyone on the set that day, which apparently did nothing to help them figure out who did it because they officially closed the case in February of 1999 due to a complete lack of suspects, which is anticlimactic. But James Cameron now says he's pretty sure he knows who did it. It was someone from the crew that he'd fired the day before because they were, quote-unquote, creating trouble with the caterers. So he thinks that this person did the poisoning to get the caterers fired. That's a whole expensive way to do that.
Okay, so yeah, that was what I was just wondering, was like, how much PCP does it take, and also how much clam chowder?
Right?
How much PCP does it take to get that many people just fucked up? It sounds like they were just fucked up enough that they were having fun.
It sounds like it.
It doesn't sound like they were like seeing dragons or,
Yeah, they weren't jumping off of bridges. I mean,
right. I wasn't seeing shit that wasn't there. It was just everything was like, those was a viewfinder. Yeah, it was like that where everything was kind of two-dimensional.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I would it would be like this, and then I'm holding my hands kind of in front of each other to mimic what a two-dimensional thing looks like. So it's like the pop-up books where you're looking at it head on, and then you kind of look up, and it's like, nope, still two-dimensional. And you look side to side, nope, still two-dimensional. It was like that. So it seems like they were just fucked up enough to have fun. How much PCP, and also how expensive is PCP?
And what form does it come in? Is it a powder? Is it a liquid?
I believe it's a powder. And also, how is it that, because I know, 3 other people who had similar PCP experiences, like in different states. One of them was Texas. And so I'm wondering also, is PCP just kind of like if you order, a CD from a record label and they throw in some stickers, is that what PCP is like? Is there just a huge overabundance of it that people are just dosing people with it? Because it's not like it's like heroin or, anything that's like actually addictive necessarily. Yeah. What the fuck is... That's something we need to get to the bottom to. Where is all of this PCP fucking coming from?
Exactly, because I have a theory. Now, my theory is based on the fact that I've been on multiple movie sets at about that time of night with lots of different kinds of people. And when you're on a movie set and you're thrown together with these people that you've never fucking met before, there's different tiers, there's different levels, of course, like at any job. So there's like the director and the DP and the, you know, the AD and all the people who are in charge of like making the shit happen.
Those people seem lame as fuck.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes they take themselves very seriously.
Yeah, it's awful.
And then there are the people which I like to thoroughly implant myself with, which is like the PAs and the runners and the gaffers and all of the people who work really hard to prop up the other people so they can make things look nice.
I think it was the boom operator, because those guys are sketchy.
They are sketchy as fuck.
Yes.
So I have a theory that like it was like a PA that James Cameron had been yelling at, maybe, or like a oh God, what are those guys called? Like a grunt guy, like a, you know, like a gaffer. Yeah. And he was like, I fucking traded these stolen speakers for all this PCP, and I don't fucking want to smoke it because PCP is whack.
Right, PCP sucks. What do I do with all this?
But so does James Cameron. Like, maybe we could make this work. So he might have like just sort of been like, whoop, this will be hilarious. But then way more people loved the clam chowder than he expected. And he was like, oh no, and he's watching it go down while he's eating like a ham sandwich on white bread, you know, just like.
Because the clam chowder's for closers.
Clam chowder's for closers. Fuck yeah. And I feel like he was like, at first he was like, this is a solid plan. But then it sort of turned and he was like, the fucking caterers did it. I saw them. Because he knew he was going to have to come back to the States and work, or maybe stay in Toronto and work or whatever. And I've worked with a lot of people who would have done, I would have done that. I would have done that in 1997 or whatever.
I don't think I would have. I've always been very money-minded, so I would have been like, let's find a market for this.
Ooh, see? And I was a bit wasteful, and I was a big fan of, like, continuing being an agent of chaos in my family line. So I can see it from all sides. But, yeah, I mean, just imagine the crew of Titanic getting fucked up and stabbing each other with pens. It's one for the ages. So
that sounds like a beautiful massacre.
Yeah, it really, you know, it's like the cherry on top of the Titanic mythos. I know.
Yes. Oh my God, I want to know everything about it.
You know what? If you know anything about this, if you were there, if you did it, if you worked on the set,
if you have a theory,
yeah, DM us on Instagram, the utterly unrelated pod. You can also email us, utterlyunrelatedpod@gmail.com. Let us know what you know, because we need to know it.
Yes.
So until next time, that is your assignment, people, listeners.
Yeah.
I don't know how to end these. I don't know how to end it. I never know how to end episodes.
I know. I'm terrible at endings. Bye.
Yeah, bye.